And we are back on the WHHI-TV Daily News. Joining me is Dr. Debi Lynes. She's, of course, here for our Mind Your Health segment. And we have a guest today. This is Sarah, and she is from Discovery Ranch South in Utah. So
Absolutely.
Very exciting.
Well, thank you for letting us, come on for Mind Your Health today. You know, oftentimes we talk every month about health and wellness and your brain and your mind. And sometimes there are times, and you can jump in here at any point, where individual therapy, group therapy at home isn't appropriate. Things get just too much to manage and too much to handle. And knowing that there are places throughout the country that have programs that can help young adults, children is really important. So Discovery Ranch South is in Utah, and Sarah is here to chat with us a little bit about what it looks like when we talk about programs that may be out of state. So I really appreciate you coming. We've already had fun chatting, so it's going to be interesting, I think, for you, the viewers.
For sure. So, Sarah, tell us a little bit about, we're getting somebody out of their environment big time. We're taking them probably out of their comfort zone a lot.
Right. For parents, too.
Right.
Yep.
So as director of admissions, what do we do? What do we say? How do you handle folks who might be, and parents who might be a little iffy?
Yeah, and I think it's such a good question because it is a huge jump. Like at this point, parents have tried maybe PHP programs or IOP programs for their kiddo outpatient, and just it's not helping in the way that they need.
That's right. They've done therapy. They've been to psychiatrists and psychologists. That's exactly right. School's not working. Depression, anxiety, all kinds of things that you just can't manage. They're cutting. They're hurting themselves. They just feel gross. So we call you and say, okay, we'd like to talk about a program for our children. As director of admissions, what does that look like?
Yeah. So first, it's a lot of like wanting to find out about the student and what they're struggling with, and then talking with parents about what makes like this longer term residential setting more effective than what's been going on at home for them. And so like we have all of our therapy in-house with their primary therapist is on campus. They have group therapy. They have a lot of experiential work that they're doing as well.
And what does that look like?
Yeah, I was just going to say. Tell me what that is. Let's get to the
so the experiential piece is there's animal programming. So every student, when they enroll, they have a baby calf that they take care of.
I love that.
They do equine weekly. We do performing arts and outdoor rec weekly with them as well. So on the surface, it's not going to look inherently therapeutic to the student, but there's so much that is drawn out of that we can bring back into individual and family session about the experiences they're having and just translating it to real life.
What about education?
So we do have school on campus as well. And so school on campus, it's a little bit flip-flopped. It's in the evening, which is actually good for teenage brains. They're a little bit more awake and active in the afternoon. And so we do have school on site as well, and psychiatry.
So what kind of ages are we talking about here, and what is the length of the program?
So we are working with students ages 13 to 17, and it's usually about a year. That students are with us.
And the reason it's a year is it takes a little bit to get settled in and acclimated, and then you really want change to occur, and you want it to occur in a therapeutic and healthy environment.
And to be lasting.
The therapists, everyone, I think people get scared when they hear residential or they hear therapeutic program. Can you do a disclaimer for that? It's a myth.
Yeah, and I think at this point in time, like the student needs that support. They need that level of care. And so they need the entire wraparound service of being in a safe place where they can practice the skills. I had a student one time just put it really perfectly to me. She was like, Sarah, in order for me to have long-term change, I needed long-term treatment. Like she needed the practice, she needed it for her brain to actually settle in and set her up for a successful future.
And speaking of that really quickly, Amanda is one of the therapists that's here with us today too. And they're actually here not to just meet with other therapists, but they had a student and they're back down to check on the student and the family afterward to see how everyone's doing.
Love that.
So it's not a one and done. I mean, this is a long-going experience. And I think having you come in and kind of demystify or debunk some myths is really important.
It is really important. So thank you so much for being here today.
Thank
Great
you.
work. Thank you for bringing her today, Miss Debi, Dr. Debi.
Welcome.
We'll see you again next month. Thanks to everyone on the show today for their insights and contributions. As always, our production team is behind the scenes to make all of this possible. And of course, we are honored that you have chosen to share a part of your day with us. I'm Betsy McDaniel, and we'll see you for the next WHHI-TV Daily News.